Hi, this is Lorraine, and I'm doing another video. If you'll give me a second to clear, center, and balance my energy, we'll get started. Okay. I had a few visions this week, but I'm going to share this one from the 27th. I had it at like 12:10 a.m. and this is what it looked like. First thing that came to mind was a picnic table icon, and I really wanted to go back to sleep, but I felt really strongly that I needed to wake up and write some notes down, so these are the notes I wrote. It reminded me of a picnic table, and when I sat with it, the first thing that came to mind is I remembered looking up the shape of a trapezoid, because it reminded me, some of the parts of this image reminded me of a trapezoid, and I remember reading of a lot of negative connotations that symbol had, that shape had as a symbol. But what it represented to me and what came to me intuitively was a feeling of balance, stable foundations, flight, and when I was allowing the information to flow, or opened myself up to that flow of information, what I was seeing visually was pyramid wings, and the top reminded me of a mountaintop, or a countertop. Also volcano. I saw volcanoes. And then I saw the Devil's Tower, which was showcased or used in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Then I thought to myself that the trapezoid, from some of the things I've read about the symbolism, had a negative connotation, and then wings had a positive connotation, and that these two symbols together created balance. And then the feeling that came to me was something's being removed, and the top, what came through very clearly in that moment was the top is being removed. And so if you've seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind, there's a scene where Richard Dreyfuss, the main character, is creating a model of the Devil's Tower, but he doesn't know that's what he's doing. And then partway through this creation, he kind of takes part of the top off, and it has a flat top, and then he sees the image and starts sculpting more until he actually creates a clay model of the Devil's Tower. And so what was very strong for me was that moment when he kind of takes the top off of the model that he's created. And what was very strong was the top is coming off, meaning there will be no more top. There will be no top, there will be no bottom. This hierarchy is being dissolved. It is being raised. It is being disassembled. Then the notes I have are control is an illusion. And then the message that came to me was remain steadfast. And so what was coming through really strong was this shape right here in the middle of this trapezoid that would be considered a trapezoid, right? And in the past, and having that negative connotation that I've read about, as far as that shape being a symbol of something negative. And then in the past, I've done videos and I've used thumbnails where I'm using this symbol. And I've had a lot of people comment that has negative connotations. And so what comes through very strong always for me, and it's important for people to know, and this is true of language, words, this is true of symbols, like the trapezoid, Vesicus Pisces, the Fibonacci spiral, golden ratio, the Lemskate, the infinity symbol. All these symbols have meaning, right? We assign meaning to them. But this is a meaning that we have, or society has, or some individual has assigned to these symbols. But these symbols can represent anything we choose to, any meaning we choose to assign to them. It is about the intention that we place upon anything, and it is our belief that we project onto that item that empowers that item as something of positive or negative, okay, or balance. All right. And so when people project their opinions on what certain symbols mean as to whether they're positive or negative, it's irrelevant to me, because when information comes into me, it is for my highest good, and it is meant to be conveyed as a message, however that message is meant to be conveyed, whether it's verbally, whether it's physically, whether it's energetically, okay, whether it's through words, mind, body, or spirit. However that information is meant to come through, as it comes in, I project that information out as guided, okay? And it's always for the highest good, and it's always with the intention of whatever it takes to move Mother Earth back into balance, whatever it takes to heal this world and all things on this world, on, in, through, around this world, anything that is associated with planet Earth, with Mother Earth. My intention as I work with these energies, these fields, these beings, these whatever it may be, is to move Mother Earth back into balance, to maintain balance, and to heal her. Okay? Always. Regardless of what other people believe or project. My intentions are always of the highest good, as guided by the divine consciousness, to create change in the most positive way, in the most beautiful way, to move Mother Earth into balance. Okay? That's very important. And so, but as I ruminate on this symbol, what I ended with, so I've had several days to sit with this and think about and allow information to flow through me. What the final message for me is, on top of all these other things I just said to you, is when we were camping and we would see the picnic sign, it was meant to be a sign of rest. It was meant to be a sign to say, here's a place for you to come and relax with your family and eat and allow your kids to play and enjoy the beautiful nature that you're in this national park. And every time I see this symbol, I think about we took a family trip to Yellowstone National Park, and we were there for a few weeks there in the Grand Tetons, but specifically Yellowstone National Park. And so there's a lot of other meanings in this, but for me, it means respite. So the message in the end for me is a time of rest. This is a time for me to rest. Of course, all the other things are important, removal of hierarchy, and all the other symbols that came through. But for me personally, the personal message is this is a time of respite. Okay? The other message that came through was very powerful, was I'm going to preface this with language being very difficult for me sometimes to use to convey some of these messages. But nevertheless, I need to use language to convey these messages, or one modality is language that I use to convey these messages. And there are many energies on this world with agendas, with certain outcomes they're trying to manifest, with certain intentions that involve their success in their goals, in what they're trying to achieve, okay? Some of these energies carry very negative intentions. Some of these energies carry very positive intentions, okay? And people, many consciousnesses on this world, many individuals on this world believe that their true power lies in that negativity, in dominance, in control. Okay, they believe that is power. Power is in wealth. Okay, all these ideas. Some people believe power is in the light. Power is in forgiveness and kindness, and I just see all this love and light energy, people projecting all this love and light energy, right? Which is a beautiful thing. But the message that comes in very strong is power truly comes from balance. Power comes from balance. And I'm using the word power because that's the best word, but it's not truly what I'm trying to convey. When we can, the energy of balance, the energy of embodying all things, the energy of embodying both light and darkness, and maintaining balance of both light and darkness, that is power. When you can control the emotional body and identify when you're moving out of center to the darkness or to the light, when you can identify that behavior, thought, mind, body, spirit, any action, and mitigate it and maintain center, that is the true power, because that is embodying duality from unity. And that is the clearest connection to that source energy. Okay? When you sit from this physical body, from this physical plane, when you can sit in the middle and embody light and darkness, embody unity from a balanced place, that is the most powerful place you can be. That is the most powerful place of creation. Okay? And as I say that, women are the creators. We carry the egg and we birth the child. Okay? The life, the creation. But we cannot create without sperm, right? We cannot create life without sperm. So even though we are the body that creates, we cannot create without the divine masculine. We need the divine masculine. The divine feminine needs the divine masculine to create. And when we both sit, divine masculine and divine feminine, in balance, that is the most powerful force of energy on this plane of existence. Okay? And the message that comes in very strong to me is that once we embody balance and we can embrace what people consider the darkness and what people consider the light from a place of balance, that is the true gift of this physical form on this world. And that is when we are allowed to create. That is the true power. And so I can tap into the light and I can tap into the darkness at will to fulfill the needs of this world, to fulfill Mother Earth's needs, to move Mother Earth into balance. And I have, and I've talked about this in past videos, have been in very dark places and very dark existences and very dark lifetimes. And I have been able to embrace the darkness and find my way back to balance. I have that experience of being able to walk into the darkness and not allow it to overtake me. Okay? To not shift me, to not move me. Okay? And it's hard to explain in words. I've also been in very light places, love places, joy, happiness, but that too can become maniacal, okay? That too can become maniacal. That can be an obsession. That can be, to be fully in the light and ignore the darkness is toxic in and of itself. We must be able to acknowledge and see both light and darkness. We must be able to acknowledge and see and embrace both light and darkness, because if we can't embrace the darkness, then we can't control that part of our emotional body. If we can't embrace it and know it and understand it and love it, then we cannot balance that part of our emotional body, mind, body, spirit. Okay? And often when people embrace light to the excess, they can only do it if they ignore darkness, if they block out darkness, if they fail to acknowledge darkness. And that's where the toxicity of existing purely in light happens. There must be a balance between light and darkness. There must be an understanding, because we embody both. No matter what we do, no matter what we try to do, physically, emotionally, psychologically, to forget some of the bad things or horrible things or traumatic things, tragic things that have happened in our lives, no matter how much we try to block that out and forget about it or not see it, it always seeps back in and it affects us. Even if it's only through our subconscious, it will always affect us. We must embrace it. We must love ourselves, forgive others, release that energy in order to truly live in balance. Okay? That is the gift of mastering the emotional body. Once we master the emotional body, we will become master manifestors, and we will create the change this world needs. And the message that comes to me is I have everything I need to fulfill my path and purpose. There are no more blocks, and there will be nothing placed before me that can stop me. Now, this is something I've always known and something I've always worked towards and continue to work towards, even though I've had some things happen that make daily life very challenging. But at this point, I'm told that's in my past. And if the change I'm feeling in my body is anything like the change that is happening on this planet or will happen on this planet, it's profound. And I can't put it into words. There are no words to describe it. But, okay, I think I'm just going to have one more message, and that was this morning. This energy that people have referred to, it's I call it low vibration, high frequency energy. We would know it as Lucifer or Satan or the devil, which I've said in past videos is coming in to remove the unbalanced energy from this world because it no longer has a place and it's already served its purpose. And this energy is truly divine, because the divine embodies both positive and negative. The divine embodies both God and the devil, right? The divine embodies and is all things, okay? And so this energy was brought to this world, or allowed on this world, to serve a purpose, to help us through this, to help assure that we are ready to make the transition that we are making in this moment. But this energy came in to tell me, and it spoke in its language. Let me see if I can bring that out again. Easy. I see you. Do not resist. Do not resist. The children are mine. And when that message comes through, this is the divine source coming through. The children are his. This is a very masculine energy. But these children are protected from love, not from darkness. And this low frequency, high vibration energy is coming in to remove this unbalanced energy and will protect the children. Because, as I said in the past, this energy is divine. It is not truly rooted in this unbalanced energy. It is a force or an energy placed on this earth to provide temptation. And these people that are embodying this darkness from a very unbalanced place have not found their way out and found their way to balance. And therefore they are being removed by this low frequency, high vibration energy who is doing the will of the divine. Okay? And I think I have to stop because this unbalanced energy knows, but it can't stop itself. Because that last message came through unexpectedly, I feel like I have to share one more vision I had this week, because that's not where I want to end. And I was just sitting and I saw all of a sudden this bright blue light, and I would say it was the color of this right here, and it was neon. It was a neon colored light, and it went all the way down my back, or up my back. My whole spine was lit up in this bright blue, but it was very bright neon. And then I sprouted wings. And to me, that was a sign of awakening. People talk about Kundalini Awakening, but I try to stay away from all these paradigms and structures and symbols and the language that's been created, because all these things are being released, and this is greater than that. To me, it was greater than that. It was a clearing and an opening up of a pathway and a metamorphosis. The wings represented a metamorphosis, and it represented my transition, my change. And that change and transition that's happening within me, mind, body, and spirit, was rooted in my understanding of the mastery of my positive, balanced side and my unbalanced side. What people would consider the darkness within me and the light. I have mastered those two things. I have been able to maintain balance, and I have, meaning that even when I see myself moving out of center, I can identify it and move myself back into center. When I see myself moving out of balance in either direction, I can identify it and move myself back into center. And the reward that I was provided is that clearing and metamorphosis, mind, body, and spirit. And so this is not something that is especially assigned to me, for me. This is part of the path and purpose of all people who are transcending. Okay? So that's important for people to know. Okay, this is a journey that we are all on, and we all have a path and we all have a purpose, and each person's path and purpose is different, but we are still walking to the same place. We are still moving towards the same place. So what I've been through may not be exactly what you're going to go through, but as you open yourself up and receive the messages for your highest good from a place of clear, centered, and balanced energy, you will know when you have met these benchmarks, okay, these milestones in your spiritual development. You'll know, okay, just like I know, okay, you'll receive those messages. But this is my experience, and it's really important. I felt really drawn to share that with you because of that message that came through right before. All right, and I always do as I'm guided, and okay, I think this is a good place to stop. Thank you.